Celtic have been handed somewhat of a transfer blow and were also compared to Rangers in a shocking way. We will of course cover this story in today's video, whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Brendan Rodgers has declined to give a direct answer on why Celtic's summer transfer business has been slower than expected. Answering a question from Celtic Fans TV during Friday's media duties, the manager was asked whether the hold-up was down to identifying targets or negotiating deals to get them over the line. This comes after Go Ahead Eagles chairman Jan Willem slammed Celtic for taking their time and dragging their heels in negotiations over Jacob Braham and claimed that Rangers were much better to deal with. Celtic have already pulled out of negotiations for the player, it seems. Rodgers made it clear he wasn't prepared to go into that level of detail in public, and a press conference wasn't the place to discuss that. He said this: "No, I don't really want to go into that. It's not the forum for that. It's one where our scouts and recruitment are working ever so hard identifying players, really good players. So yeah, we just hope by the end game that we can get the right level of player in that can help us and improve us. And we all know what supporters want to see. They want to see that freshness in the team. They want to see the team being exciting. I'm hopeful that we can do that over these remaining weeks and then go off into the season in a really good place," he concluded. While Rodgers didn't confirm if the issue lies in player identification or finalising deals, he stressed his confidence that the right additions will arrive before the window shuts. However, he didn't seem convincing about the prospect of getting new faces through the door before the Champions League qualifiers later this month. It was a hard question for him to answer, but his non-answer does give us some of the picture. There's clearly frustration there from the manager. Now for the main story, Go Ahead Eagles director Jan Willem van Dop has taken a pop at Celtic over the slow pace of their move for Jacob Braham. Despite 3 bids, the Dutch club say there's still no agreement, and Van Dop has made it clear they're not impressed with how things have been handled. He pointed to Rangers as an example, praising how quickly they moved to land Oliver Antman in a £4 million deal. The Finnish winger was signed, sealed and straight into the team for their Champions League qualifier. Antman made an instant impact too, setting up 2 goals as Rangers cruised past Victoria Plzen 3-0 at Ibrox. That quick turnaround hasn't gone unnoticed, and Van Dop clearly thinks Celtic should have acted in a similar fashion. With no breakthrough yet for Braham, the go-ahead chief didn't hold back, making it clear he believes Celtic have been far too slow in trying to get the deal done. He said this: "There was some interest from Celtic for Jacob Braham, but we felt the gap was too wide. Things moved very quickly around Oliver Antman and Glasgow Rangers. Celtic could have taken a leaf out of Rangers' book, haha," he said. Van Dop's comments shine a light on the growing frustration over Celtic's summer business. Brendan Rodgers has made it clear he wants quality added to the squad, but progress has been patchy, and this latest episode won't help ease concerns. Celtic's interest in Braham has been there for weeks, but with Go Ahead Eagles holding firm on their price, the Hoops backroom team have so far failed to close the gap. Watching Rangers move swiftly to land a key target and get him into the side will only add pressure on Celtic to get their own house in order. Whether they go back in with another offer remains to be seen, but the criticism from Van Dop won't have gone unnoticed at Lennox Town. In other news, Brendan Rodgers has revealed new signing Jemai Simpson-Pusey will need some time before making his first appearance for Celtic. The 19-year-old centre-back arrived on loan from Manchester City earlier this week, but as expected is still working his way towards full match sharpness. City's pre-season began later than Celtic's, and Simpson-Pusey has not been training regularly with the first team, meaning he arrives a little behind the rest of the squad in terms of fitness. Rodgers said this to Sky Sports: "Well, he's a little bit away. I think, in fairness to him, he's been training with a small group at Manchester City and he isn't quite up to speed yet. But he's come in, you can see his quality straight away. It's just going to take him a little bit of time just in terms of getting the fitness, getting the intensity into here. But he's come in and adapted really well, and we've brought him in for the season because we've got so many games we don't need him straight away. But I'm pretty sure soon he'll be getting up to speed and ready," Rodgers concluded. Simpson-Pusey will be competing with Cameron Carter-Vickers, Liam Scales, Austin Trusty, Dane Murray and Stephen Welsh, if he stays at the club, for a place in Celtic's backline once fully fit. Celtic aren't expected to make any more moves for central defenders this summer. They did have some interest in Adamoba. It's understood that despite reports of bids in the Italian media, The player does not have an offer on the table from Celtic at the moment. The defender is under contract at Cagliari until 2029 and is valued at around £6 million. He is primarily a central defender, but has played at left back for a decent bit in his career so far. Celtic may well revisit it in the next few weeks, with nothing ruled out. In other news, former Celtic loanee Timo Weah has signed for Olympique Marseille on loan from Juventus with a €14 million obligation to buy included in the agreement. Fabrizio Romano reports the package will see Marseille pay €1 million for the initial loan, with the permanent clause automatically triggered next summer. A further €3 million in add-ons and a sell-on clause have also been negotiated. Weah was determined to join Marseille and is now set to begin the next chapter of his career in League One. Celtic supporters will remember the American forward from his short but lively spell at Parkhead in early 2019. The son of Ballon d'Or winner George Weah joined Brendan Rodgers' side on loan from Paris Saint-Germain in January of that year, bringing pace, direct running and a touch of European glamour to the attack. In just 17 appearances, Weah found the net 4 times and chipped in with assists, playing his part in the Hoops' historic treble-treble campaign. His direct style and eye for goal made him a fan favourite in flashes, though his time in Glasgow was cut short. When Neil Lennon took over from Rodgers in February 2019, Weah asked to join the USA Under-20 squad for the World Cup in the lead-up to the end of the season. While Lennon was keen to keep Weah at the club and work out a way that Timo could both get to play for his country and play in the Scottish Cup final, Weah wasn't for it, at which point Lenny sent him packing. The decision meant Weah missed the Scottish Cup final win over Hearts, though he still collected the league medal. Since leaving Celtic, the 25-year-old has played for Lille and Juventus, building a solid reputation in European football. Now, with Marseille committing to a €14 million obligation to buy, it's another reminder of the high-level talent that has passed through Celtic Park, even if only briefly. Lastly, Kyogo Furuhashi's new chapter in England got off to a lively and slightly frustrating start on Friday night as Birmingham City kicked off their championship campaign against Ipswich Town. Few Celtic supporters would have believed just 12 months ago that their talismanic forward would not only have left the club, but done so via an ill-fated spell in France. Yet the Japanese striker departed Parkhead for Rennes in January, only to find himself frozen out of action entirely. His career reboot has come courtesy of a familiar face, former Celtic assistant Chris Davies, now in charge at Birmingham and tasked with mounting a Premier League promotion bid. Kyogo was thrust straight into the starting 11, and within 7 minutes, he looked to have announced himself in style. Brushing aside his marker, he lofted an audacious chip over the advancing keeper, a finish instantly reminiscent of his League Cup final strike against Hibernian under Ange Postecoglou. The home fans roared, but celebrations were cut short when the referee blew for a foul on the defender. Replays showed minimal contact leaving Birmingham, and Kyogo with every right to feel hard done by. Undeterred, the former Celtic number 8 continued to torment the Ipswich backline. His persistence paid off when he rattled the post later in the game, with a teammate pouncing on the rebound to score. While not officially credited with the goal, Kyogo's fingerprints were all over it. The hunger and sharpness were unmistakable. A welcome sight for Davies and a painful reminder for Celtic supporters. 7 months have passed since Kyogo's departure, and the Parkhead hierarchy is still to find a like-for-like replacement for the man who so often delivered on the big stage. What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.